Hi, my name is Holly Blatz, and I am a new teacher here at Edison this year. For those of you that I haven't met yet, I teach both sixth grade reading and language arts, as well as math. Today I'm going to share what I've learned this year about conversation in the classroom through a data collection tool called conversation mapping. This is my third year teaching overall, and I've always thought that conversations came from giving students opportunities to talk, incorporating group work, or having them just share out their ideas. I thought that as long as they were participating, that I was doing well. And though these are great practices to start, it truly is so much more than that. What I've learned through Ladder and allowing a coach to come in, collect data on my student conversations through conversation mapping is that through the incorporation of structured conversations and goal setting, I can learn much more about my students' thinking and their understanding, as well as increasing their ability to speak in complete sentences using academic language in any subject area. So let me show you why I think conversation mapping is worth the risk. So conversation mapping is a process which a ladder coach or coworker comes in to map out how your conversation is moving throughout the classroom. So it kind of looks at what's being said or just participation in general. It really just helps to see which areas of instruction you can focus on, as well as how to encourage your students to participate within any area of your instruction process. So here's one of the first maps that I received from a coach. They just sit in the back of the classroom, or they can sit with a small group and just kind of document how the conversation is going. So in this example, I think it was whole group instruction. You can see there are circles around some students, and then there's stars. So the circles represent the answers to questions, and the stars represent who's asking the questions. So I was able to analyze this map and get information regarding both who was talking in the classroom, as well as who was asking the questions and who was answering all of the questions. So from this, I showed my class, and we celebrated the fact that everyone in the class spoke at least once, which we realized because everybody had either a circle or a star by their name. And then we could make goals towards how to get other students to talk more in the classroom, how to encourage them. So this has helped to increase overall participation during lessons. The other piece of information that I received was the fact that I asked all of the questions for the most part. There was a couple students here that asked questions. Otherwise, it was mainly me, and the students provided all of the answers. To give you another visual, here's another type of map that shows something similar using arrows. So as you can see in this one, most of the arrows were between the teacher, I was up here, and the students. And the conversation was going between us. So at first it seemed really overwhelming because I was like, well, how are we supposed to get them to have conversations between each other when they're so used to raising their hand and coming through us? But with goal setting as a class and setting up the appropriate expectations and really providing opportunities for them to add on to each other's ideas or agree or disagree and use those conversational moves, they really were able to improve. The conversation map was just a nice concrete a piece of concrete data and evidence to show them that this was really going on during our class period. And then lastly here, this map shows that progress is being made. As of now, in this one, you can see that there are now arrows going to each other throughout the instruction and not just always filtering through me. So you can see like this student to this student, this student to that student, this student to that student. So there's more arrows amongst themselves versus just to the teacher. Please notice the date at the top. I don't know if you can see it actually in this, but the date was January 12th. So just like many things, it's a process and not something that will happen over the course of a week or a month. However, conversation mapping is the first step towards collecting information on how your students are conversing in your classes. Just as we do with content, we can then take this information as formative data and use it to then drive our practices and our lessons towards how we can help them have conversations amongst each other, participate, and truly feel engaged during each day that they're in our classroom. It helps to open up a safe environment for students to share and learn together. I truly recommend taking this risk as I did and have a coach come in to map out all the great things that are already happening in your classrooms. It's just that chance to kind of put your growth mindset to the test as I did, and it's truly an experience that you won't regret. Thank you for letting me share.